Good morning. I'm just going to take you through a tutorial on how to design a project using Fusion 360. This is ideal for GCSE and A-level students. So the first thing we've got to do is just navigate around the screen. So over here we have our isometric view, and what I'm going to look at is building on the front plane. So we click on front plane, and we go to this icon here, and we drop down to this menu here, create new sketch. So I'm going to sketch on this work plane, so I click on it, and what I'm going to do is build a simple project, and I'm going to slice it into different components, label the components, and set it up so it's ready for engineering drawings and it's ready for CNC machining. Okay, so here we go. So over here I'm going to start off with a rectangle, and I'm going to go to my origin here, and as I zoom in, zoom out, you can see these are my sizes. Now I want my product to be approximately, let's have a look, there you go, it's 350 by 500, right? Those are the sizes that I've researched. So if I go back into isometric view, there it is. I finish sketch, and then what I can do is turn this whole project into a three-dimensional shape. So I go create, extrude, I select the surface, and I'm going to drag that out, and I know that from my research my area was 600. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it as a new body and click OK. Now I know the material I'm using is 17 mm. Let's just put that into a nice view for you. So I'm going to select this surface here, and I'm going to go modify, and I'm going to shell. I'm going to shell that surface 17 millimeters. Okay, so that means the back, the sides, everything are all 17 mm. Now we can adjust the backboard to 6 mm depth, but we can look at that later. So at the moment now we've got a basic shell. Now the next stage, I'm going to draw just a couple of sketches on the front. So I create a sketch and I select this front face. Now that means I can draw on that face, and I'm going to sketch a line. So I pick up this edge, I project it, and I bring it down to the bottom of the drawing, and I click OK. All right. Then I get another line, and I do the same here. And now what I'm going to do, if I click back into my finish sketch at the end, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to slice this material and turn it into different components. Okay, so the way we do that, we click on modify, split body. I click on the split body, I select the splitting tool, and then I select the sketch that I produced earlier, and I click OK. Now you can see that's cut it. I do the same again, modify, split body. I click on this surface. Now if you notice, the splitting tool sketches have disappeared. Now in the program it just defaults to turn off the sketches. So I'll turn them back on, and I'm going to select the line I've drawn on the right hand side of this drawing. Okay, click OK. Now I can then turn my sketches off. If you look over here in the window, I can turn them on, I can turn them off. Now what I tend to do now, I go into the bodies and I do this. I create new component, I create new component, and I create new component. So now by selecting new components, I can take these sides away. Alright? But if I start labeling them, I can label that one right side. Next one, I can just left click and left side. And component 3, I'm going to call main body. Main body. Okay, But I can turn off the left side, turn off the right side, and I've just got the main body. Now if I want to, I can slice that as well, which is what I'm going to do. So I use the same process again, create sketch, I select this surface, continue, and then I'm going to create a line. I do the same again, I just project up, I bring that down, and I click OK. Isometric view, I finish the sketch, and then modify, split body. So do the same process. Again, my sketches have gone off again, so turn them back on, and I want to slice it that way, and I click OK. Alright, I turn my sketches off. Now what's happened, if you look at the main body, we've now got 3 different bodies within that main body. So I can take that one away, that one away. Now if you look at that, that's still linked. So this body here, create component, and create component. So now we've got this one in the main body. This component will be called top. So this tutorial is giving you a tutorial in labeling components. This one here is called base. And component 6, we'll just call that one backboard. Now you know that I can adjust that 17mm backboard to 6mm, 9mm, whatever I fancy. But at the end of the day, I've got my product. So if I just go into isometric view, and if I grab hold of my tree and drag that back out, hold on. There you are. If I just drag that out, that puts it back to an isometric view. Now, what you can do as a student, you can now move all of the components out of the way. And that comes in handy for visualizing, thinking how you're going to join it together, and also very useful if you're producing an engineering drawing. Okay. Right, so that's just the basic shape. Now if I want to add extras, or I want to add some feet to the project or some shelving, now that's very interesting indeed. If I want to add some shelves, I can do this. Okay. Create a sketch, and I'm going to build on this surface again. Now I create a rectangle, 2-point, and I'm just going to do that, pull that across like so, and I can set this to 12mm. Okay, click OK, and if you notice, I've gone oversized a little bit there, which is what I want to do. I create another rectangle, 2-point. I can come in here, and I can do the same. Click OK. So I finish my sketch. I turn my sketches on, the ones I've just created, and now what I can do, I can modify and I can create extrusion. I can select this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And what I can do now, I can create extrusion, and I can create new component, and the whole item then can go right through we're through there. There you go. 475. Let me just double check there's no gap at the back there. Yep, a good position. So I can click OK. And what I've got there, I've got a project with different components. Now, you know as well as I do, I've just overlapped them, I've turned the sketches off, and now I've got myself a sort of box with a couple of sides. Okay, good. And that's just the start of the tutorial. Once I've done that, I click Save. I'll save it as test 1. Save. Then what I can do, I can then take that design into, I can render it, take it into rendering program. I can apply color. So in the color, I can get hold of, I just tend to go for paint, or if I want to go for wood, I can choose wood. Okay, oak semi-gloss, so I can just place oak semi-gloss onto that surface, oak semi-gloss onto that one, and oak semi-gloss into that whole unit, and I might leave the rest of it grey. Okay, I might leave it like that. Okay, it's totally up to you what you do with your colours. If you don't like that and you want to change, I can change this to mahogany, top to mahogany, and the bottom to mahogany. If I'm not happy with that, see what walnut is very dark. Okay, very dark indeed. You can see it looks like it's disappeared into the surface. But if you look at that now, looks pretty good. If I apply some paint, okay, if you're getting parts of it spray painted, I can go for glossy paint. And now I'm going to change the colours. So I'm going to go for dark grey. Right. And that's already standardized grey. If you look at that, you can see there, the light grey. That's better. So if I've got light grey on the outside, I probably want light grey on my inside component. So now you just got the walnut top and bottom. Similarly, I could change the colours. I could change that to red paint, that to red paint, and the back I could also change that to red paint if I wanted to. So I've got a colour coordinated cabinet. Now these are things that you can play around with, but again, it's just a very basic look into using the program. Okay, let's go back into here. And if I want to, I could render it. I could just click on In Canvas Render, like so, and that will start rendering and making it look photorealistic. Okay, that takes a bit of time, so I'm just going to stop that. Stop. Isometric view. I'm going to put it back to something that I would probably use if I was going to do this myself. I would go to wood, bamboo. That looks better. Bamboo base, and I'll go for a bamboo back. So look at that. So that's just a basic introduction into using the software, and that will help. That'll help you. But the most essential needs that you need to be understanding from the beginning are all of your dimensions, your X, Y, and Z dimensions. Okay, those are very important, and then you can start designing. Now you know I've gone for a simple rectangular box sort of shape. Well, of course I am, because you can see in that short space of time I've managed to produce a product with different components. I've labelled them, and that should work out well. So if you can do that, you'll be able to design and use the software on your own without my help. And that's what we call teaching. Okay? Right, thank you. I will catch up with you guys later on the next video.